Played for you
Jeff
if
Taylor.
I was maybe this height.
Max Gordon plays for me.
He's not much taller than me.
I don't think he is taller than
A
you.
little bit. Yeah, everyone's a little taller than me.
Speaking of Max, a lot of guys were saying, or Michael said after the game, looking at what he's done and just his makeup, he fits perfectly on this team. Why do you feel he said something like that? And do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I think that the team creates, that little bit of their identity. And Max obviously is a guy that walked on here and wanted to prove that he could play baseball. And it's funny that it always mystifies me why he plays. I tell him, I said, you can't run, you can't throw, you can't hit. And he just finds a way to scrap and win. And he's a winner. And he's earned his job. We've tried everything we can to keep him out of the lineup, and he won't let us. And so I think it's nice that a guy like Michael Conforto sees that and what kind of leader that Max has been for us.
Pat, you're in excellent shape. You've merited this by your play all year. Just a few words on how you feel going into this big weekend series.
I feel just like I felt going in Palm Springs and playing whoever we opened up with. I really believe that. I know that I just don't ever change. If you change, then I think that's, it goes against the grain of what I think, and that is that, the next game is the most important game, and for us it happens to be Washington State, so it's the most important game right now on our schedule. Yesterday it was Oregon until we got rained out, and, I feel that way. I think our team has that same approach. I hope they do. I know we've asked them to have that approach all year long, and I think that they've kind of stuck with that as a motto.
If you look at the schedule, regular season, this is the finish line this weekend. But have you tried to, or even had to impress on them that it's not the finish line for this team because there's so much farther to go that you guys want to go?
Well, I think everybody wants to go as far as you can go. I think that's one of your goals from day one. But I think to get there, you got to climb the ladder one step at a time, and I think that's what we've tried to do. When you're playing Portland on Wednesday, if you're thinking about Stanford on Friday, I think you get in trouble. And that's hard to do when you're working with college kids. It's hard to do whether you're working with young men. But, every game to us, I believe, is just as important as the other one. And obviously, they just start dwindling down and down and down to where you got 3 left. And, we're excited we're in a position that we feel like it means something. And we're excited that we're in a position where our kids have played well. And we're in a tremendous league, and so we feel good about that. We also understand that that means nothing on Friday.
I know it's not a pleasant memory, 2011, the last weekend there. When you look back, what are the emotions and lessons that you took away from as a coach that you're maybe trying to apply this weekend?
Well, when we went down there and didn't play well, I think that we went in there with the same approach and we got beat. And I think maybe at that point in time, we went down there and maybe there were some guys that were trying to do everything they could not to get beat instead of doing everything they could to win. And I'm not sure of that because that's not how we go about it. But I think that there was a little bit of it started a little bit before we got down there. We actually stubbed our toe against Washington 2 weeks before that with a big lead. We stubbed our toe at home against USC. We just didn't play well down the stretch, and there's always seems to be a time in the year where you don't play quite as well and happen to us at a bad time, and going down and playing a good team like Oregon. It wasn't like we went down and played, a subpar club, and we played a really good club, and they had good pitching, and they took it to us, and I try to forget that. I'm glad you brought that back up to me.
When Washington State, they're playing the role of spoiling a little bit. They have that potential, and even though they scuffled a bit as late, what are maybe the dangers of that ball club?
I think they're a really good offensive club. I think that the danger is the fact that there's a team that's going to come in here and want to do exactly what you said. They're going to want to beat us. Their job would be to say, hey, we're going to be a spoiler. We're going to play. We're going to go in there and play, and we're going to get after them. And I think they're a good club. I do. I haven't followed them because we haven't played them. I'm not one of those coaches that follows other clubs in the conference when we're not playing them. So I haven't really looked at them because we were scheduled to play Oregon yesterday until today. I do know how well they've done offensively throughout the year. I know they've lost some close games. And I'm well aware of a bunch of their players on their team. So I think it's going to be another weekend in the it's going to be a tough one.
How dangerous is that mentality you were touching on earlier, the playing not to lose rather than playing to win?
Well, I think that's something that you get into, I think, when you string out some games we don't play as well. Like I said, in 2011, we had a 6-run lead at Washington and got beaten that game, and then came in here against USC and lost 2 out of 3. So we lost three out of 4 games, and we just started. I mean, I kind of felt like we were defending ourselves instead of pressing. And Benny Wetzel was a freshman. Matty Boyd was a sophomore. Tony Bryant was a sophomore. Osich was was injured at the time and was starting to just go 4 or 5 innings. So we were forced to play some kids that had never been down that road before. And so hopefully through that those guys have learned. And I think they have. I mean, I'm confident that those guys are focused on the task and that they're going to be prepared to play. And but it's not really. It's how you play the game on that particular day. And everybody's been beat by everybody just about. And so we have to play the game well.